Roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Present.
Present. Counsel Kate? I'm sorry. Sorry, I had the wrong roll call. Okay, Counsel Barton?
Present.
Counsel Capano?
Present.
Present. Counsel Chakutis?
Present.
Present. Counsel Calucci?
Present.
Present. Counsel Seer?
Present.
Present. Counsel Field?
Present.
Present. Counsel LaPierre?
Present.
Present. Counsel Lozey, absent. Counsel Net?
Present.
Present. Counsel Starbed?
Present.
Present. Counsel Walsh?
Present.
Present.
All rise for a moment of silence.
Mr. President, special prayer for Nick Jakutis and family.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Motion to accept the minutes.
So moved. Second.
Communications.
We have a communication from His Honor the Mayor. Pursuant to Section 2-5 of the Lynn Charter, I designate Charles E. White to perform the duties of the office of the purchasing agent on a temporary basis until the office can be filled pursuant to Section 2-3, 3-9, and 8-10 of the Charter. I certify that said person is qualified to perform the duties which will be required, and I make this designation solely in the interest of the City of Lynn. Sincerely, Mayor Thomas M. McGee.
It's the wish of the
Couple
council.
of files.
Motion made,
Second.
seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Another communication from His Honor the Mayor regarding a proposed home rule petition and act relative to the financial condition of the City of Lynn.
It's the wish of the council.
Motion to approve.
Motion set down for a hearing.
Yes, sir.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Public hearings.
We have the petition of Price Right at 391 Linway to amend the special permit approval for a retail food store to allow the sale of wine and malt beverages by package.
Anyone wishing to speak in favor?
Through you, Mr. President, I'm Attorney Sam Vitale. I'm here on behalf of Price Right. With me this evening is Rich Randazzo, who's the district manager of Price Right. Price Right's been at 391 Linway for over 10 years, selling food at retail. I think Councilor Capano was on the council when the original special permit was granted allowing the sale of food at this location on the Linway, which is in a shopping mall on the southbound side of the Linway. What Price Right seeks is your approval as the first step in a process that would enable them to sell, along with food, beer and wine by package. This license that's available is within the quota of the City of Lynn, and what you're being asked to do initially is to approve the possibility of the sale at the location. If you were to do that, then it would go to the License Commission, and then if they were to approve it, it would go to the State Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission. As many of you know, in many other states and in many other cities and towns, beer and wine is sold at a variety of facilities, gas stations, the bowling alleys. The state has increasingly allowed the sale of alcohol, at least for beer and wine, at many locations. In some states, for example, in New Hampshire, every convenience store sells beer and wine, and the state sells all alcoholic beverages. So this store, as many of you are familiar, and certainly Councilor Capano is really a neighborhood store in the best sense, because it's in a business district, but it's in close proximity to an established neighborhood, the Brickyard neighborhood. And when I spoke with Councilor Capano about it, he indicated to me that many persons still walk to the store. They're able to buy their groceries. Price Right prides itself on selling at competitive prices. This would help their sales and help to keep their presence within the city. It would serve, I think, the public need, because we have growing residential communities being built in close proximity to where this location is. And as I indicated, it's within the quota. We don't want to see this license not be utilized by the City of Lynn, and I would hope that the council would support Price Right's request for this first step in seeking approval for the sale of beer and wine at the store. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone else?
Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Okay, duly noted. You want to speak, Jeff?
God bless you all and good evening. Jeffrey Eric Yoffa, 500 Essex Street, apartment number 16, Lynn, Massachusetts. And I'm speaking as someone who's been asked to attend all the license board meetings, and we have the third Tuesday of the week. So we had a meeting approximately, I'm not sure, Attorney Lamanna may be able to get the exact date, but this issue came up to the license board, and two gals came, and they said, we're here from Price Right, and we would like a liquor license. And Attorney Lamanna got up, and I'm not, you can correct me if I'm wrong, he said that Mr. Moulis, the owner of Market Basket, has said that he does not support having alcohol in the supermarkets, and therefore we do not recommend it for Price Right. And Lieutenant Harbrick got up and spoke after that. There was a member of the license board also, and he said, based on that, we deny you the liquor license. And the two gals walked out and went, I said, God bless you and good luck. Yes, you got it. And they went right out the door very happily. So I don't know why we're raising up a dust on something that was already denied by the license board. So that, listen, God love you. That's the whole truth, nothing but truth. So help me God, right? I probably got almost every word exactly right when I say almost, just because I'm not perfect. That's sure only God is, but
Thank
pretty
you, Jeff.
close to exactly.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone else? Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. Councilor Capano.
Yeah, I spoke to the owner and the attorney. Price Right's been there for 10 years, and when that whole mall actually, with Price Right as the anchor, when it first moved in, nobody knew exactly how that would work. That was the old vacant Martini's site, dilapidated building. It's worked out great. They've been a great neighbor. And for the record, the major supermarket that was interested in a liquor license, beer and wine license, initially, there was nothing but support from most of the councilors if that, in fact, were to happen. I'd like to help them out. I think it would help their business, and I'd like them to be able to move forward to the license board, the liquor license board, and over to the state, and I'd like to make a motion to grant.
Second. Motion made, seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Present.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey absent. Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
You
Counsel
missed me.
Net? Sorry.
Yes.
Next public hearing.
Is pursuant to MGL Chapter 139, Section 1, order that the building located at 7 Chancery Court hereby adjudged to be a nuisance to the neighborhood or dangerous building, and be it further ordered to demolish the building as it is in the best interest, health, safety, and welfare of the people of the city of Lynn.
Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Please come to the podium. Please state your name and your address, sir. And ma'am.
Vincent LaRusso. I live at 12 Chancery Court.
Marion LaRusso, 12 Chancery Court. We do have something we'd like to log in based on what we're mentioning now, if that's okay to give to the council.
Yep.
Thank
I
you.
have a copy here. I'd like to thank the council for letting us address them this evening. We've lived at Chancery Court now for about 4 years, and since this time, many of our neighbors and others continue to witness steady stream of vehicles and people in and out of this property. We have also seen ambulances, EMTs in the past. Visitors arrive all hours of the day and the night. Some stay only for a moment, some stay all day. The police reports that we have seen have confirmed that many of the visitors are there to purchase, sell, or use drugs. We have been awakened at all nights all hours of the night from screaming and car horns, people talking loudly in the streets in the early morning. There are several people involved in the home that are in this activity, and we believe that the owner is well aware of what's going on and has done nothing to lessen it. Some of the vehicles are passing through our property. They drive through our garage in order to get to Chancery Court, which is a narrow little street, and traffic can be backed up sometimes because people are parked along the side of the road where there is actually no parking on Chancery Court. On several occasions, we have seen people dealing drugs in our garage. Car pulls in, somebody runs up to the car, there's a quick handoff, car drives away. This has been observed by tenants who were sitting in their own cars in the garage waiting to either go to work or returning from work. This was brought up, I believe, last fall and was tabled. We know that nothing really has changed. It's maybe a little less crazy, but all the same, it is business as usual there, and we do feel that the council should vote and demand that the house be deemed a nuisance and dealt with as it can be legally. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I just add, we've lived there. We have another parking lot for our guests' overflow that is on Sachem Street. And at this point, and all along, we're even afraid to have friends and family come visit us because they have to walk past that house up Chancery Court to get to our building. And we just don't feel comfortable. We can't guarantee their safety. And this is an ongoing problem. We should all be able to live in peace and harmony and not have to deal with these goings-on. So I just want to say that according to the last hearing, if there was another call made regarding that house, and there was, someone was taken out in an ambulance, and we don't know the reason why, but once again, it has been still running around with what we see as drug activity, and we would like to see that this be stopped in the house and the occupants of the house moved.
Okay,
Thank you for all that you can do.
Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of demolition of this property? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone else? Seeing none? Anyone in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Now would be your time to speak.
Good evening. My name is Richard Gonzalez, 7 Chancery Court. I did live at the property. I did move out since the last hearing. I understand that we did come to an agreement with Mr. Colucci and everything about another call for any services. It was a medical condition that the person, it was not an overdose. My mother is a landlord. She does rent out apartments. We have been trying to clean up that property since. So I do apologize to the people living here for 4 years, but for 4 years, please show me a police report that if this property is so bad that the Lynn Drug Task Force, which is, I guess, one of the best on the out here, one arrest for somebody coming with drugs, leaving with drugs if it's that bad, or people being beat up, or any type of calls for anyone being hurt on Chancery Court alone. Now, I don't know what goes on with the property down the street. I'm not in control of that, ma'am, and it's unfortunate. But like I said, people do have friends, relatives, and we do rent out apartments. My mother has since evicted that problem apartment, and they did, it was a problem to get rid of those people, but they did end up leaving. It took a lot, and it cost my mother a lot of money in legal fees to go to the courts and to get, it's a big process to get people out. It seems like tenants have more rights now and everything else, but since that, like, legally, in aspect, if it's been that bad for years, the people that did live there, whatever their situation was, selling drugs, doing drugs, I don't know if they were arrested or not, but to my knowledge, there is no backing for you guys to claim that it's that bad. I mean, just if you have the police reports to show of people being hurt or cars broken into or drug dealing, you have security cameras underneath your condos. You have them all over the place. produce the footage. I mean, you guys, it's good to
Mr.
claim
President,
that.
excuse me, could you have him address you and not the
Oh, I'm sorry,
individuals?
I'm addressing, okay, sorry, Mr. Barton. That is the case, and like I said, I did move out, I did try to help my mother, she is elderly, and if she's afraid to call medical services now, if she needs, if she has a medical condition now, because if somebody's called, oh, that's good, we're gonna have another hearing here to get her out of here. I feel that's just not right, and out of all the houses in Massachusetts, you guys are concentrating on that one piece of property for there's some sort of reason that this piece of property is so important for you guys here. What about all the other landlords that rent out properties with tenants that are drug addicts or selling major drugs, this and that? There's not been no incidents with the narcotics officers coming to this house, arresting anyone, or leaving or coming with drugs or anything like that. So that's all I have to say. And I do apologize for you guys feeling that way.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition?
Good evening, council members. My name is Wayne Williams, and I live at 12 Chancery Court. I've known Ricky, his mom, and his family for some time now. My thing about, in contrast to what this young lady and this young man said, the apartment, the street that we live on isn't all, it's not a bad street, it's a small street, but as far as being unfair for walking down it or whatever, no. I mean, whatever activity goes on at their house, that's in their house, whatever it may be. As far as addiction goes, every single city and town in the state of Massachusetts is trying to help people with an addiction problem, not trying to hurt them. Ricky's mom, she's elderly. She's going to lose her house because of other people? That's ridiculous. I suggest that the council vote to make stipulations or something as opposed to making this lady lose her house, or even making Ricky go into a treatment facility. Because I don't think that, I think based on people in general, you can't determine what a person's going to do and what a person's not going to do, but you can help them. We all have family, we all have friends, we all know people. And I suggest that in every single person in this hearing, including councils, we all have somebody in our family that has an issue with addiction, struggling, or whatever it may be. I had an addiction problem, a struggling problem, whatever. I overcame it, but I overcame that with help from other people. You know what I mean? It wasn't easy. It wasn't even. And even though my family tried to say, okay, you're going to do A, B, and C, it didn't work. But it did work because I was willing to give it an effort. I didn't want my mom to lose everything. You know what I mean? And I'm sure Ricky don't want his mom to lose everything. But to take somebody's house from an elderly, would you do it if it was your family, or would you help them? You know what I mean? You know, the building that I live in, I'm going to tell you the truth. I've lived there for 6 months, all right? And when I first moved there, neighbors came up to me and said, and I wasn't even there the second day, came up to me and said, who do I have in my apartment building? What are you doing? You know what I mean? That's the type of people that I'm dealing with. And furthermore, whoever filed the petition to have the building removed or demolished or whatever it may be, what's the ultimate reason behind it? You know what I mean? Because I know personally, my building, the people in there, I mean, I walk up the walkway and I hear people screaming out from their porch to their family. And I said, does that make you any better? No, it doesn't make you any better. Does that make you any less? No, it doesn't make you any less. You're a person just like anybody else. You know what I mean? So equality for everybody is what I'm trying to say, you know, and always around, no matter how you look at it. Because, you know, like I said, this lady, evidently she's having a hard time, and her son's the only one that she has in her life. Her home is her home, just like my home is my home, your home is your home. Would you want anybody to take that away from you because of somebody else, or would you want to help them or give some kind of suggestion as to what they could do in order to maintain their home, you know, their freedom, their privacy, whatever it may be, their love, their wisdom, support, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? And it's just a sad day when you have to come to a hearing or you have to go to court or whatever, and you're getting primarily tossed out of your house, or you have to go through these proceedings and you just don't know what to do, you know? I told her I gave her numbers for lawyers. I actually went out of my way, to help her, because I was just like, when she told me the story, and I just moved to Lynn 6 months ago, but I do have business experience. When she told me the story, I was like, do you have a lawyer? Because she really does need one for this. I mean, if it's a vote on to whether or not she keeps her house or the city takes it or whatever it may be, right? She needs a lawyer. And that's all I can say. I just wanted to come and speak on their behalf and just let you know that despite what my neighbors said, it's not what you think. They're making it out to be a heck of a lot worse than what it is. And somebody was parked in my parking space the other day, and it happened to be one of the tenants of the building, okay? If there's drug activity going on in the parking lot, there is cameras all around there. I mean, you could hand somebody something in your car seat, and you could see it through the cameras. That's how many cameras in there. Produce the footage, all right? If you're making the accusation that drug activity is going on, produce the footage, all right? And like Ricky said, if the police haven't arrested anybody in I don't know how many years, how bad could it be? Can't be all that bad. And my neighbors, they scream out their doors just like they say they do. And I've witnessed that myself. And I'm just like, where I grew up, you don't do that, but hey, it happens. And these are older people. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition?
Hello, my name is Cristina Gonzalez. I live in the 7 Chancery Court. I'm the owner of the house, okay? I live over there for 50 years, and I never have a complaint from any neighbors, never have a fight with nobody. And now the people say they're afraid to walk with the dogs. I don't know why. Nobody's fighting in the streets. Nobody. I used to have a problem with my tenants. I have to go to the court and throw them out of the house. But now I have a wonderful tenants, and they have 3 children, and it's no needles in the house. The house. Sorry, in the yard. Okay? Nothing. I mean, people, I don't know why the people wanted my property. I don't know. It's an empty lot behind my house, which was 3 buildings before, 3 floors. And somebody, and it's empty. And I believe it belongs to the city. I'm not sure if they wanted my house to build the condos or something, or do the parking lots. I'm not sure. And I hope, please don't take my house away. Because where I'm gonna go? I have $550 per month for the rent, for the Social Security. How I'm gonna pay my rent? I can't go anywhere. I pay my house, okay? I came only 20 years old. I worked 2 jobs, and I raised my son when he was 3 years old, all by myself, because my husband left me, okay? And I have a very hard time. My mother helped me. When she passed away, you know, I got sick. I have back surgery. I cannot walk anymore that much. I have to use a cane. It's very hard for me. Please help me. Don't kick me out of the house. I want to die there. Please. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I speak Spanish. I'm going to try to tell. I live down in the house of the... Okay. So I have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. I think that this is a good place, quiet. I have camera in every place. And I can tell you that that false that they say, this is a security place. My children can play, and my wife go outside to put the trash. In the night, at 11, at what time she want, and that's no problem. If you want, I can give you some video about the place that is okay. I have 3 years living over there. At the first, I think that that is a dangerous place because I saw a sign that say crime, something like that. I'm sorry for my English. So I live over there, and I think that it's a good place, and the house is in good condition, and she lives alone. I want that you heard, don't take off her house, please. Sorry for my English.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone else? Seeing none? That part of the hearing is closed. Councilor Calucci.
Mr. President, 61 total police calls, 29 ODs, 6 deceased over 4 years. That goes only to August 2017. It's a problem. The neighbors in the building don't come here because they're afraid. These people stood out, those two. So, I feel bad for the woman, but you know what? It's got to stop, so I motion to demolish.
Anyone else? Councilor Barton.
Mr. President, I've received many calls on this house, and a lot of the people in the neighborhood are afraid to come here, and that's why I spoke up when he was talking and directing his stuff at these people, because a lot of intimidation is going on around here. So I agree with Councilor Calucci.
Anyone else? Councilor LaPierre.
I think what we have here is very disturbing. And just the amount of police presence at this dwelling is taking our police force, and it's really exasperating or stressing an already underfunded police department, that they have to be making calls to this sheer amount over a short period of time. And not only our police, but when you dispatch police, EMTs, fire, those are all precious city resources that we cannot afford right now in this city to continue down this track. This is atrocious, ma'am. And the folks that are residing there seem to be delusional as to what's happening at this property. This is a real problem. And you came up here and spoke to us impassioned about why we shouldn't make a demolition order for this property, but nowhere did you confront the real problem and what the remedies are going to be going forward. And that is the police calls, the illicit drug issues that are going on there, the overdoses, the prostitution, the hypodermic needles in the neighborhood. All of these things are now contributing to this point in time where we have to take a vote like this. So I would support my ward councilor on this one and support demolition. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing on the council to speak? Before we take the vote, I just want to show that I have 3 pages in front of me about police calls, the ambulance having to be there. The very top of the page, you know what's at the very top of the page? Elderly abuse. Police have had to go there for elderly abuse. And when you came here a month and a half ago, we made a deal with you, and you haven't lived up to that deal. No counselor in this room wants to take a house away from anybody. Nobody. But you keep using the resources, and you keep your neighbors living in fear. And I've also received calls from the neighbors down there. It's completely unfair what you have done to that neighborhood. And you promised us the last time you were here that you would try to get some help. You think it's easy for us to make a decision like this? You put us in this position. We didn't put you in the position you're in. You're putting us, and you have your neighbors living in fear. And I applaud them for coming here tonight and standing up. It's the wish of the council.
Motion to demolish.
Motion made to demolish.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey absent. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Starbird?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
No more public hearings to be set down.
We have the petition of National Grid to install one jointly owned pole on Alden Street beginning at a point approximately 35 feet northeast of the center line of the intersection of 495-497 Eastern Ave and Alden Street. Petition of National Grid to relocate one jointly owned pole, number 72, located opposite 265 Phase Ave. Pole has a National Grid guy wire into the tree on private property. The customer will remove the tree. Petition of National Grid and Verizon to install one joint owned pole and one pole with a guy wire opposite 31 Kent Road. Petition of Herbert Joshua Amaya to add an auto body shop to an existing auto repair shop at 105 Willow Street. Petition of Thomas McGovern, Linwood Development, to construct a single-family dwelling in a business district at 52 Collins Street. Petition of Maximo Duran, owner of the Lincoln Market at 200 Essex Street, for a sign permit.
It's the wish of the council. Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports. Education and environmental. Councilor Chakutis.
Unanimous vote of the committee.
Motion made to accept unanimous vote of the committee.
Second.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We have to read them.
Need a roll call on that?
I'm going to read the two orders.
Education?
Yeah. Okay,
Need a roll call on both of them?
yes.
All right, so please read.
I'll read the first one. Okay, resolved, having convened in an open meeting on February 13, 2018, prior to the closing date, the Lynn City Council, in accordance with its charter, bylaws, and ordinances, has voted to authorize the superintendent to submit to the Mass School Building Authority the statement of interest form dated on or before April 16, 2018, for the Pickering Middle School located at 70 Canomo Ave, which describes and explains the following deficiencies and the priority category for an application may be submitted to the Mass School Building Authority in the future for elimination of existing severe overcrowding, prevention of severe overcrowding expected to result from increased enrollments, replacement, renovation, or modernization of the school facility systems, such as roofs, windows, boilers, heating, and ventilation systems, to increase energy conservation, expected and decrease energy-related costs in a school facility, replacement of or addition to obsolete buildings in order to provide for a full range of programs consistent with state and approved local requirements. Hereby further specifically acknowledges that by submitting the statement of interest form, the Mass School Building Authority in no way guarantees the acceptance or approval of an application, the awarding of a grant, or any other funding commitment from the Mass School Building Authority, or commits the District of Lynn to filing an application for funding with the Mass School Building Authority. That's the first
Motion
one.
was made to accept, seconded, roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey absent. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Starbird?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there an emergency on that, Councilor Chakutis?
Yes, there is. Motion to
Motion
sit down.
made for an emergency, seconded by Councilor Barton, roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey absent. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Starbird?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. The second vote is a required form of vote to submit a statement of interest. Resolved, having convened an open meeting on February 13, 2018, the Lynn City Council, in accordance with its charter, bylaws, and ordinances, has voted to authorize the superintendent to submit to the Mass School Building Authority the statement of interest form dated February 16, 2018, for the Lynn Vocational Technical Institute Annex, located at 90 Commercial Street, which describes and explains the following deficiencies and the priority category for which an application may be submitted to the Mass School Building Authority in the future. replacement of existing roof with a new EPDM roof with 3 inches of insulation as a priority statement of interest for the MSBA Accelerated Repair Program for 2018. And hereby further specifically acknowledges that by submitting this statement of interest form, the Mass School Building Authority in no way guarantees the acceptance or the approval of an application, the awarding of a grant, or any other funding commitment from the Mass School Building Authority, or commits Lynn School District to filing an application for funding with the Mass School Building Authority.
Motion made,
Second.
seconded, roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey absent. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Starbed? Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
Emergency,
Emergency
motion made for emergency, seconded by Counsel Barton, roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey absent. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
Ways and Means, Counsel Net.
Yes, Mr. President, all voted by the committee unanimously made a motion to accept.
Motion made to accept, seconded. The clerk will
Second.
read all orders.
Transfer the sum of $62,428.57 from the account of reserve to the account of Law Department to fund the city solicitor's final payout not in the original budget submission. Transfer the sum of $55,103.38 from the account of reserve to the account of the Fire Department to fund the fire chief final payout not in the original budget submission. Transfer the sum of $50,691.42 from the account of reserve to various departments to fund sick buybacks for the collective bargaining. Transfer the sum of $50,000 from the account of reserve to the account of the mayor's expense to fund FY18 Labor Council as prior contract expired. Transfer the sum of $11,500 from the account of reserve to the account of Personnel Department expense to fund the Fire Chief Assessment Center. This test was held in December 2017 due to previous chief retiring. Transfer the sum of $48,409 from the account of reserve to the account of city clerk expense to fund the ballots needed for the special elections held in February and March 2018. Transfer the sum of $3,900 from the account of treasurer expense to the account of treasurer payroll to fund a car allowance for administrative assistant per 3147 collective bargaining. Transfer the sum of $21,036.02 from the account of Lynn Police expense to the account of Lynn Police prior year unpaid bills to fund unexpected expenses from FY17. Transfer the sum of $1,065.36 from the account of Lynn Police payroll to the account of Lynn Police prior year unpaid bills to fund the overpayment that was received in FY18 that pertains to prior year grant period. Transfer the sum of $30,000 from the account of parking meter receipts expense to the account of parking expense to fund a purchase and installation of street parking meters and kiosks. Transfer the sum of $41,458 from the account of state election funds to the account of elections payroll to fund the special elections in February and March 2018. Ordered that the city comptroller be and is hereby authorized to take the following action. Certifies an available fund the amount of $400,000 as allotted to the City of Lynn Police Department by the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security, EPS, for the FY18 Massachusetts Municipal Public Safety Staffing Grant. Certifies an available fund the amount of $5,490 as allotted to the City of Lynn Police Department by the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security, EPS, as an amendment for the FY 2018 Traffic Enforcement and Equipment Program. And finally, certifies an available fund the amount of $22,460 as allotted to the City of Lynn Fire Department by the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, CDA, for the FY17 Emergency Management Grant.
Motion made to accept, seconded, roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey absent. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
Emergency, Counsel Net.
Bill emergency, make motion to approve.
Motion made with an emergency, seconded by Counsel Starbed. Roll call?
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Lozey absent, Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
License, Counselor Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. President. Unanimous vote of the committee, motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Utilities, Counselor Jacutis. Oh, I'm sorry, Counselor Walsh.
Thank you. Unanimous vote of the committee, motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
New business.
We have a request to set down a public hearing for demo on 22 West Baltimore Street.
So moved.
Motion made,
Second.
seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Counselor Jacutis.
Yeah, I'd like to, on behalf of my family and myself, I'd like to express our deepest appreciation for all the support and kindness we received during this difficult time. And to my extended council family, I especially want to let you know how appreciated my family and I were for all your generous gifts, texts, calls, and support during these last few months. No words can ever express how blessed I feel for having all of you in my life and help me through this. Please know that I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you for everything you've done for me and my family.
Mr. President, Diana, we love you.
We all love you, Diana. It's the wish of the council.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, seconded.
Yeah. The building that how it burnt down years ago.